Hi, my name is Herschel Elpert. I'm the CEO of hApp-e-tax. I'm also the person who designed and developed the hApp-e-tax app. I have a BCom, LLB and LLM in tax, and have many years' experience as a tax consultant in South Africa, having worked for 2 global audit and advisory firms. I also have extensive experience in knowledge management and IT. With these combined skills, I developed the hApp-e-tax app for professionals spanning from tax consultants, accountants, tax lawyers, CEOs, CFOs, financial experts, payroll administrators, and tax students. The hApp-e-tax app is a tax information app that is designed to replace bulky tax textbooks. The app is less than half the price of the textbooks and boasts more information and more features, and is updated live as and when the South African tax information changes. The hApp-e-tax app is not web-based and does not require an internet connection to use. All the information contained in the app is confidentially stored on your phone or tablet and can only be accessed by you, anywhere, anytime, on a plane, in the Kruger Park, or when the internet is down. The app is available on Apple and Android smartphones and tablets. So let's take a quick tour of the hApp-e-tax app. The app icon is below. It's the orange icon with the geeky looking tax professional. Here we go. So this is the hApp-e-tax main menu. It's made up of large colored buttons that are easy to tap. In the top right hand corner there's the hApp-e-tax logo. If you tap on this logo you'll find all our contact details and should feel free to get in touch with us. You can also share this app with colleagues and friends by tapping on Share this app. The app has the Income Tax Act and the VAT Act, which includes the VAT regulations. If we tap on Regulation 995, it pops up literally within split seconds. The app also has the Customs and Excise Act, which includes the customs and excise rules, as well as SARS guides and interpretation notes, which include SARS Comprehensive Guide to CGT, Income Tax Interpretation Notes, Income Tax Practice Notes, VAT Interpretation Notes. Let's take a quick look at the Income Tax Practice Notes. Again, a quick tap and you're in within split seconds. We also have all of SARS published rulings, which includes the binding class rulings, the binding general rulings, and the binding private rulings. Let's take a look at the binding private rulings. Say we want to do a search for section 24C. Literally within split seconds, all of the binding private rulings with section 24C pop up like that. And if we want to go straight to the binding private ruling with section 24C, say BPR 106, let's tap on that, and within a split second we're in. In addition, the app has the Tax Administration Act, the STT Act, and all of the South African double taxation agreements, which includes the African double taxation agreements and the ex-Africa double taxation agreements. We also have the Estate Duty Act in pink, and finally the Transfer Duty Act. And finally we have a button called Tax Definitions, where you can find all the definitions contained in the South African tax legislation. Let's give it a shot. In Income Tax Act definitions, we'll search for the item trade. And every single definition in the Income Tax Act that has the word trade or a similar word will pop up, as you can see over here. Directly from these links, you can go straight to that definition in the income tax legislation. That's the main menu of the hApp-e-tax app. Now let's take a look at the most complicated piece of legislation in South Africa, the Income Tax Act, which in printed form is over 900 pages long. You'll note that the entire act took less than 3 seconds to load. That's more than 900 pages in less than 3 seconds. The app was designed to save time for professionals, and therefore anytime a link is tapped, the screen should navigate to the new location in less than 3 seconds. Before we get started with the legislation, let's first take a look at the buttons on the top of your screen. On the top left-hand corner of the screen, you'll see a 3-line menu. which is pretty much the same as the home screen menu in drop-down format and without the chunky colored buttons. Next to the three-line menu is the home screen button, which takes us back to the home screen. Next to the home screen button, there are two quick access buttons, a button for the Income Tax Act index and for the VAT Act index. If you're anywhere in the legislation and you need to access a new section in the Income Tax Act or VAT Act, you can use these quick access buttons to get there fast. On the top right hand side of your screen, you'll see the app search icon. The search function on the app was specifically designed to be highly intuitive. This means that when searching a word or phrase, you will not land up with 436,000 search results. Search results are between around 25 to 55 and are all highly relevant to the search criteria. Let's try this out. I want to know about the taxation of hotels. You will notice in the search results all definitions and sections relating to the search criteria. In addition, you will notice that if the word hotel appeared in other legislation, example over here in the VAT Act or the Transfer Duty Act, the search results will also provide its location. Furthermore, any other information contained in the app that deals with hotels is also included in the search results. For instance, Interpretation Note 105, which deals specifically with hotels, is included, as are 3 of the SAR's binding private rulings. Let's check out the interpretation note. And here we are, taken directly to the interpretation note within split seconds. Next to the search icon on the top right hand side of your screen is a 3-dot menu. Using this menu, you can change the font size using 3 options. The default option is medium. We have also provided our contact details in case you need any assistance, and there's a user manual and terms and conditions for use of the app. Also, the old income tax legislation, which gets updated every year on 31st December with the legislation as it is at that date. And then importantly, check for updates button, which turns red when an update is available. A tax legislation update takes around a minute, and a tax information update takes between 3 to 10 minutes depending on the internet speed. You only need the internet to get updates. Internet is not required for any other function in the app. Okay, back to the Income Tax Act. You will notice in the citation of the Income Tax Act certain amendment legislation highlighted in brown. These are the latest 2020 legislation updates that have been included in the legislation. Wherever an amendment for 2020 appears in the legislation, that amendment will also appear in brown. Let us check out Section 8 of the legislation. Whenever a section is tapped, details of that section are provided, and there is an option to continue to that location or to remain where you are. We'll tap OK and proceed to Section 8. You will note that subsection A1 is in brown and was therefore included in the 2020 amendments as we mentioned. Let's say we now want to know what paragraph 7 of the 7th schedule deals with. To find out, we tap the link over here and are informed that paragraph 7 of the 7th schedule deals with the right of use of motor vehicle. Let's proceed to that location. We are now at paragraph 7. You will also note that on the top right hand corner of each section or paragraph is a blue drop down menu. Let's check that out. We have the following options. We can add a note to the specific section, and the note will be saved in the app even after the app has been amended by an update in the legislation. We can add this paragraph to a briefcase. We'll explain that shortly. We can view the notes we've created. You see that 3 notes have been created for this paragraph. And finally, there's a print option to print this particular paragraph on a wireless printer. One last feature and you're set to go. Let's take a look at My Briefcases. That's the yellow button in the main menu. As described in the My Briefcases screen, My Briefcases are used to create briefcases for specific assignments, opinions, client projects, client meetings, etc. They are very easy to create. You simply tap on the Add a New Briefcase button in yellow, give a name to your briefcase, and you're good to go. Once a briefcase is created, you can add sections and paragraphs of the legislation to your briefcase, or you can add relevant tax information, for example, a SARS interpretation note or DTA to your briefcase. You can then use your briefcase to access this information directly. For example, let's go to the definition of connected person. Once we're here, let's also add the definition of contributed tax capital to our briefcase for our meeting with Martha Koza. There's the definition of contributed tax capital. We tap on the blue menu, add this to our briefcases, meeting with Martha Koza, add info, done. Now we can go back to our briefcases. There's our meeting with Martha Koza, corporate structure, 4th of April 2020. And you can see that the definition of contributed tax capital has been added to that briefcase. So in summary, we can add notes, add drawings, add tax definitions, sections and paragraphs of any tax legislation, as well as other information like SARS documents, DTAs, etc. Let's quickly check out Interpretation Note 3 dealing with the definition of resident. There's Interpretation Note 3, and at the top of the screen, you can print this information wirelessly if you require a hard copy of the information. Brilliant. In case you missed anything on this video guide, here's a summary of the hApp-e-tax app's contents and features. For corporate subscriptions or general inquiries, please contact us at info@hApp-e-tax.co.za or by WhatsApp on +27 83650 2344. Please share this video with your colleagues and friends.